So we're here today at Holly's LS Fest. This is LS Fest West, so there's two of them going on, but this is the one on the West Coast. As you can see, it's a really awesome event. Huge, huge, huge car turnout, lots of spectators. It's pretty awesome. Behind us is the MotoIQ booth. We have Project RX-7 and Project C7 Corvette. I hardly ever get to do this, so let's go check out the event and see all the cool stuff. Let's go see if we can catch the 510.
Get him, get him.
So we're out here on Sunday, and man, it's windy, so sorry about the bad audio. So who are you, and tell us a little bit about your badass 510.
Listen, my name is Marcus Rye, and this is my 1970 Datsun 510, and this is the first event this car has been at where I'm not trying to make it go sideways.
Yeah, last year you were drifting it, right?
Yeah, correct. Before this event, this car has always been a drift car, and it saw a bunch of changes before this event to be able to make it as close as I could guess so that it won't get sideways, but I mean, it still wants to do it all the time.
I mean, besides being a 510 with a V8, I mean, one of the things we noticed right away is you have real mechanical fuel injection, right?
Actually, the intake is the old Hilborn, but it's all still electronic. It has all the Holley HP EFI stuff.
Oh, okay. I mean, it looked like Hilborn and it fooled me. Like, so yeah. So you're not running nozzles, you're actually running injectors.
It actually has injectors, much easier to start.
So, what else do you got in your motor?
Not much, actually. This is just a cammed LS3, and it's a small cam at that. It made about 480 wheel horsepower.
Really? Did you experiment with your stack link to get your torque up?
That would have been the right thing to do, but in default, I just ran the longest ones that the intake comes with.
Is it like an aesthetic thing, or?
Aesthetics, and technically the longest tube gives you the most torque at the lowest RPM.
Right on. How about your powertrain, tranny and all that, in your rear end?
Transmission is a Jericho Dogbox 4-speed. Your standard dog box. A lot of the drifters are into it because you can shift whenever you want. And the differential is a winner's quick change with the suspension. That's all engineered by me.
What kind of dampers and coilovers and stuff?
And the front coilovers are from Annex Suspension in Fremont. They just supplied them before I came out to this event, and I was able to put a whole new setup on the front. The rear is just QA1 single adjustables with my design setup, and they've been the new front setup from Annex has been mounds better over the original setup.
You still running semi-trailing arms in the back?
Kind of. Think of the suspension on a side-by-side or an RZR, how it's a single outer trailing arm and the two in the rear. That's how the new setup is in the back.
So it's kind of like a Chapman strut.
Yeah, exactly.
So what kind of brakes do you got?
The setup is just a 12-inch Willwood 4-piston caliper front and rear setup, and all the brackets are homemade, but the rotors are 12-inch diameter, 1.25 thick front and back.
What kind of pedal box?
Pedal box is a tilt and pedal assembly. It's the 600 series, and it's hands down the best braking setup I've used.
Now you got a Winters. Are you running the spool or a limited slip?
For drifting, I was running the spool, but for events like this, I changed over to the torsion center.
Okay, right on. And does that give you smooth lockup even with higher power, or is it a little bit, I found torsons to be wiggly with higher power.
Well, I mean, for what these are usually able to take, I'd say this should be considered low horsepower, but so far it's a lot smoother than a spool, and I haven't tried another diff, so I don't have a good comparison.
Okay, you got a lot of stuff going on in the trunk.
Yeah, sadly you can't have a radiator in the front when I was trying to follow a rule book with Formula Drift, so everything that wasn't necessary in the front of the car got put in the back for weight.
So the fuel cell's back there, you have a rear-mounted radiator. What else is back there?
Since the engine's dry sump tank, the dry sump tank isn't necessarily in the trunk, but it's right behind the passenger seat.
Oh, I didn't even notice that was dry sump.
You can see the tank right through the back window along with the battery.
Oh, right on. This is really cool. Even better. Right on. I mean, we've been looking at your car. We've been trying to catch up with you all weekend, but we can never find you. Like we see you on the track, we come out here, then you're gone, and then we go through the pits, and we haven't been able to find you. We're really stoked that we're able to catch up. Now, this was a drift car, right? You're running it in Pro-Am?
This was originally meant to be a pro drift car for Formula Drift 10 years ago. They changed the rules halfway into building it, so then it was just a Pro-Am / like for fun play car. And I've been wanting to get more seat time, and doing events like this is a way to get more seat time and not spend as much money in tires.
This would be a pretty rad Gymkhana car, I think, too, right?
I am not doubting that. I would love to have it in an event like that. And the goal for the car now is doing autocross and time attack, and I'd like to do Pikes Peak this year also in it.
That's awesome. This is such a cool car. Like, we're always out at time attack. We're going to be out at Pikes Peak, and hope to see you out there.
Right on, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.
This wraps it up for LS Fest West for this year. I'd like to thank Holly for inviting us out. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again later. That's a wrap. So we're on our way out. If you like our content so far, 90% of you aren't subscribed to our channel. We need more of you to do so. So hit that button and subscribe. We'll see you later.